Time for the ride home in ENC. This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Carolina soil today for the PJ Show. Nice to have you with us. Cliff Godwin, our comments earlier with him. The big breaking news out of that moment is, in case you've missed it or have not seen it, but the Pirates are going to go Dixon Williams at short and Braden Burris at second for the upcoming American Athletic Conference tournament. Doesn't mean that we will not see Alex Boucher, but it means that we are certainly not going to see him in the starting lineup after he had some big struggles in the field, which is wild because Thursday he turned the double play that led to the game really turning in a lot of ways. His defensive play, starting that double play, led to East Carolina coming out, and then the 3-run homer the top of the fourth, and they never looked back. ECU played really well on Thursday. It was pretty amazing to watch how well the Pirates played. They played anything but Friday. And then yesterday, just kind of the microcosm in some ways of the season, and just had some tough breaks during the course. Defensive play in the field kind of let them down. And it just wasn't Boucher Friday. Defensively, it let him down. There were a lot of just little things that maybe don't show up in the box score, as they say. Different positions just didn't do little things they didn't do well, and that's kind of the way it's been this year. It's kind of hard to figure. Philip the Ref Pilkington is here. Pilk, we had a major contested in your hometown, which was won by Scotty Scheffler. Try as they might. So I just the timing of everything, I got to watch a lot of by the time I got back, I was able to watch some of the ESPN coverage of round one. And so our guy Curtis Strange, who's right up the road in Morehead City, is on the US Open and PGA Championship coverage that ESPN does, working alongside Van Pelt, who was trying to sell this thing that Scotty was there anybody could make a run at Scotty? And Curtis was kind of direct in saying, no, unless he comes back to them, which he almost did. But in the end, he wins. North Wilkesboro had the All-Star race. I totally, that was not on my radar at all yesterday or this weekend.
Past your bedtime, that's why.
How did that go? I was glad to see it at North. I love the fact that they're racing at North Wilkesboro, as we've discussed on this show numerous times.
Yeah, it went well. The first two at North Wilkesboro were a little bit of snooze fest. They've worked to improve the short track package, but also just a better race. I think that the surface last year was a brand new repave. Usually tracks struggle with that, but it was very good.
Right.
A lot of lead changes, most ever lead changes in an all-star race. We were
Awesome.
ride racing for the lead, so it was good. And you got Joey Logano making a butt out of himself after the race, complaining about stuff.
Even better.
Complain about. Yeah, so I'm here for it.
What was he complaining about?
They had a kind of they called it a promoter's caution late in the race, and it was to bundle the field back up, and he was in the lead and couldn't defend it, and he complained. But for those who don't know in NASCAR, I'll make it quick, historically the All-Star races always had something wacky, whether they flip the field halfway through and send the guy who's in last to first or whatever. There's always something funny, or forcing these guys can't pit and the guys in the back have to take 4 tires. So it's to make the fun and the fans involved and keep it a little entertaining, and NASCAR did that, and he wanted to go out there and complain about it and say he had a bone to pick with Marcus Smith, and just showed you how much of a crybaby Joey Logano is.
What else has happened here? My Carolina Hurricanes start in the conference finals tomorrow night. By the way, LeBlanc was telling me when he is or is not available. Should we get LeBlanc tomorrow? I know the end of the week he's not available. We
haven't done a lead-in thing with LeBlanc yet. And we knew, but we didn't know the opponent. So I would like that. He's fun.
Will you work on that?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you watching? Your Rockies or your Red Sox? Because they both stink.
They both do stink, but no, man, no day baseball game on Mondays. I'm pulling up
Okay.
Twitter to make sure I've got all the things correct for my update with all conference accolades and
The socials?
Yeah.
I'm glad you bring up all conference. We'll get to some of the other news of the day.
You can hit this transfer portal sad news too.
What you got? No, this is news to me. I was on a call up until 5 minutes before the show.
I guess it happened yesterday. Unfortunately.
I was traveling yesterday, big dog.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, let me say this before you Eddie Losner. We all know Eddie around these parts. ECU baseball alum in his own right. Coach for many years. Great guy. Eddie couldn't have been any better and more organized. And it's been a long time since I've been on an ECU road trip. And now I'm going back, over a decade and a half, 20 plus, maybe 25 years ago. These things were not as organized. It's like you flew in the where they stored the luggage on some of the planes. Remember the planes that they had in Major League? Some of those planes were like the planes we would fly on at times. And my only down part of the whole trip was going through RDU and TSA, and they said I set something off. And so they gave me I've never been searched by TSA. So I was like, we want to search you. I was like, yeah, no problem. And let me just say, I mean, the guy should have probably bought me a steak dinner and maybe a drink.
Hey, it wasn't like Rush Hour 3 where he goes, "Welcome to Paris," and he puts the glove on.
No. This was not a cavity search.
Okay, good.
But he was feeling me up like I was his prom date. I mean, it was woof. It was uncomfortable to say the least. But that was the only down part. Flight. We went through Atlanta. That was one of the easiest times through Atlanta I've ever had.
You don't get those much in the busiest airport in the world.
No, you don't. And that was smooth. We got to Tampa. A little bumpy going into Tampa, but I've never landed in Florida where it wasn't bumpy. No. And then going out, I got on the first bird out yesterday morning from Tampa to Raleigh direct. I flew they're a sponsor of ours. I flew Breeze. No, Breeze is a company sponsor. Oh, and it was a great flight. It couldn't have been any better. It was great. Hour and a half in the air. Awesome.
Well, glad you had good travels. You did a good job.
But Eddie Losner organized. Just did everything great. So I can't say enough nice things about Eddie. Give Eddie a raise. That's how good he is. And then I enjoyed working with Coach O again, working with you again. Isaac did a fine job. It was fun. It was nice to call baseball on radio again. Yeah. Like I told Coach O, we're calling baseball from the state of Florida on radio. Don't get much better than that.
No, it does not.
All right. So what's the bad news you have to be a Debbie Downer on everything?
Well, because this is right up your alley, and it was the one week you were not invested in softball. Emma Jackson is in the transfer portal.
Really?
Yeah. Not good.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me.
It doesn't me either. You knew she
It disappoints me.
Yeah.
But it does not surprise me. And my guess is this is transactional.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
you don't hit 21 home runs.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't her playing time. She played in every game. It wasn't the coaching because everybody loves Shane. It's clearly she's going to get some moolah somewhere else because, yeah.
Gosh, more power to her.
Yeah. Speaking of softball, did you see where A&M got beat? First time a one seed had ever lost.
I did.
Number one overall seed lost in the regionals.
Liberty beat them.
Yeah.
Brittany Hoyt's Liberty Flames. I'm glad you brought this up again, Pilk. Thank you. So A&M baseball was preseason number 1. They finished 14th in the SEC. They're not going to make the NCAA tournament.
Nope.
You can't. I don't care how deep the SEC is. You can't finish 14th and make. It's crazy, crazy town. And then they lost to softball. They entered the postseason as the number 1 overall seed, and lost their own regional.
Are they celebrating in Norman, Oklahoma yet?
That opened a door for them for sure. But there's also other SEC landmines all around.
They all 7
Congrats
games this year.
Yeah. Congrats to South Florida's team in softball. They won, beat Florida State. Now FSU ended up winning the regional, but Florida State got beat by South Florida, so that's a good thing. Boy, you've bummed me out with the Emma Jackson news.
I'm sorry, but it was a good weekend for the conference. I mean, FAU won a game in walk-off fashion Friday. They didn't win their regional either, but the conference looked competitive. But, yeah, the Emma Jackson news is tough.
That sucks. Don't like it. All right. You led me to my Embrace the Debate segment I was going to do.
Okay.
The all-conference release today for the AAC in baseball, the all-conference team. This is very easy for me to say, right?
The conference we
had we had some Pirates honored and recognized. They received recognition. Colby Wallace was the utility guy on the first team, and I think that is part of his being a two-way guy. He was not the all-conference third baseman. That was Dawson Bryce for Charlotte. But Wallace made the all-conference utility. All-conference second team saw Ethan Norby as a pitcher. Okay, that makes sense. Now, there's 3 pitching spots on there. Gillespie got on from Charlotte, but he was the pitcher of the year, the freshman pitcher of the year. Beard from Florida Atlantic, and Corey Braun. And I saw Braun briefly this weekend. I saw Beard in person. They were all pretty good. I have no gripes with that. Norby gets a second team nod. Okay. Could make an argument for the first team, but he gets a second team. All right, no problem. Braden Burris also gets a second team outfield honor, wound up by about 15, 20 points, the league's leading hitter. Burris also a member of the all-freshman team, as was Austin Irby. So that's all pretty good stuff, right? I mean, 6th place finish. I think that's okay. Conspicuous by his absence, Dixon Williams. Excuse me, I got the coughs going, Pilk. And nothing to drink.
That's your problem.
Yeah, that's it. Hang on. So, Rasmussen, former Pirate, from Tulane, was the all-conference second baseman. Jordan Ballin from UTSA was the all-conference second baseman, second team. Pilk, read their stats while I get something to drink.
Okay. So we're going to start with the first teamer, Connor Rasmussen, obviously former Pirate. He hit .337 on the season. He played in all 54 games for the Green Wave this year and hit 5 home runs. And let's see, his on-base percentage was .436. Also only committed 2 errors on the season, so that was your first team player. Now we go to Jordan Ballin of the Roadrunners, meet of UTSA. He appeared in 45 games for the Roadrunners this season, and looking at their stats, are not as forward as the other as Tulane's. He hit .359 on the season, on base percentage of 55.6. So, yeah, 55.6 on base percentage. OPS well over 900, and he also only committed 3 errors.
So that was for Ballin.
Yep.
Okay. Dixon Williams didn't make it. You have Dixon's numbers?
So, yeah, Dixon hit .295. His on-base percentage was .452, and he also committed 6 errors. So double the amount as Rasmussen. I think Rasmussen had 3. One of them had 3, and one of them had 2. Oh, sorry, yeah, triple the amount as Rasmussen and double the amount as Ballin.
Now, Dixon, in fairness, did move around some.
He did.
On the infield. Had to play third a couple times. Started at short. I didn't see any of the UTSA series. I watched the games, but I didn't get involved in the study of the UTSA series. But was Ballin a guy that other teams would pitch around?
Yeah, they were, because he walked a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he walked 38 times.
So Rasmussen, was he a guy that they would pitch around? I don't think so, right? Maybe I had the Tulane series. Rasmussen didn't stand out other than,
29 walks, hit 11 times. Yeah, his on-base percentage was 100 points higher than his batting average.
Maybe the guy at San Antonio is more deserving. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around Rasmussen being more deserving than Dixon Williams.
And I'm not going to sit here and act like they watch those other guys play a lot, but Rasmussen hit 337, Dixon hit 295, though.
How many home runs RBIs did he have?
Rasmussen had 42 RBI, 5 dingers. Dixon had 12 dingers and 45 RBI.
And how many runs or stolen bases did he have?
Dixon stole 5 bags. No, that says that's sack bunt. Never mind. Where's his? We even have
it should be like 15 or 16 or close to 20, actually.
It should be. It's not
Might
under
even
his
be
hitting
20.
statistics. Let me see if it's somewhere else on this.
Well, the point is, he was a double-digit steals, and Rasmussen. I have a hard time thinking Rasmussen's the better player.
It's understandable.
But Dixon also finished on a team that finished below those two teams, even Tulane. I'd have no problem if you made the kid ball in the first team guy, and then let Rasmussen and Dixon battle it out for second team.
Dixon
I have no problem
was 20 of 23 still in bases.
Yeah. Pretty good numbers.
That is.
And was a guy who was the only real consistent power threat, and the guy who was pitched around in a lot of cases. Cy Seymour calling me. He's the new Jay Sunholder. Calls me in the middle of the show. Hang on.
He did it the other day, too.
Hey, Cy, I'm on the air. I'll call you back. There he goes. Cy Seymour.
Didn't he do it last week, too? We were live one day, and he called.
He did it recently. So, all right. Tell you what. Let's hit a break. I'll continue to hydrate here and liquid up. A great trip personally to Tampa. By the way, Pilk, I lied to you about something.
Oh, no.
Well, I didn't lie to you. I didn't have the full details. But there's a certain app you have to be able to bet in Florida. Because I was having dinner with my cousin and his wife on Saturday night after the game. And he does a lot of video production stuff as a hobby. And he's part of a YouTube channel that handicaps horse racing. And so we were talking about that, and he had him put the race on in the restaurant, right?
Oh, that was a heck of a horse race.
Oh, it was great. And his wife was looking about betting and looked up, and there is a site down there, but it's the one controlled by the Seminole tribe. It's in conjunction with the casinos.
Ah, there you go.
So, what are some of them? Like BetMGM.
Yeah, and Caesars and all that.
Yeah, or DraftKings. Those, like the ones you've heard of, aren't in Florida. So that's the other day when I said there was online betting. Well, it's not exactly true. There's just one place apparently you can go to online bet. All right, Patrick Johnson's show. I'll try not to choke to death. Cliff Godwin joined Stephen Igo and myself, and we're going to talk about it coming back on the other side.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed, meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
the best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
We're joined now by head coach Cliff Godwin, Patrick Johnson, and myself, Stephen Igo. We're about to preview the American Athletic Conference Tournament. Coach coming to us live from Clearwater, Florida. Pirates will play Tuesday night, 45 minutes following the third game of the day, so it'll be a late night most likely on Tuesday. Well, Coach, we'll start just with the USF series, which Patrick Johnson was on the call for, which was great to hear him representing 94.3 The Game. But you guys won the first game, and then the next two obviously go in USF's favor, close game 3. Just before we dive into the conference tournament, your thoughts on the weekend that was for the Pirates?
I thought Thursday we played as good of a game as we have played all year. Was really excited with our focus. Lance Williams was awesome. He gave us a great open. We played really good defense. Brad Pruitt was good. Ethan Young was good. We knew that we were going to throw Brad and Ethan on Thursday and limit their pitch count. We knew that Norby was not going to pitch the entire weekend, so he could be fresh for Tuesday. And everything just went as planned. And we, got a big swing by Dixon after we had an unbelievable double play turn with the bases loaded. I think that was in the 4th inning. And just really played a really, really solid game. The rest of the weekend did not go like that, which has been our MO to this point in the season. And but we did have some guys do some good things. We just did not play complete team baseball, being good defensively, offensively, and on the mound in either one of those 2 games.
Coach, obviously, you, as you mentioned, a leg knock to throw Ethan Norby in the series against USF, which means he will be fresh for Tuesday. And, Ethan is a competitor. Just what was that conversation like? Did he want to try to get out there at all to win some games, or is he focused on Tuesday trying to go as long as possible as his team needs him?
Well, he just – you go back to Wichita State that weekend, he's sick. He throws a lot on Saturday after coming off of sickness, and then it's a short week of rest going into UTSA. And he came out of the game. He just didn't feel great in the UTSA game, and I don't know how many pitches he threw. So it was more just precautionary. And we of course talked with him and just made sure. And he got off the mound on Friday and threw a really light bullpen and felt great, but just no reason to risk it. We've got to win the conference tournament. We know that. We haven't been in this situation since 2017, so 8 years of knowing we're in a regional. So we're in uncharted waters for a lot of people. But 8 years ago we were in the same situation. So, except we were the 8 seed. So, but we need to have our best arms available and fresh going through a long week.
Coach Cliff Godwin with us. And Coach, you mentioned that Thursday game. I thought defensively, I think outside of one fly ball that was kind of lost in the maybe the sky or something, y'all played phenomenal defense. And it just kind of showed, turning that double play, how much that was a game changer when y'all are locked in all three phases, how good you can be. And then obviously the next few days were not to that caliber. So I don't know, how small are the details in a tournament like this, especially defensively making the routine plays and just not giving teams those extra outs when every out's going to be at a premium across this week?
Yeah, you have to be like super uber talented to overcome mistakes defensively, and we're not. We're talented enough for sure. I mean, I've said this to a lot of people. We're way more talented than the 2017 team. Obviously, that team dealt with injuries like we've dealt with this group, but you just can't overcome those things, especially young pitchers that we're putting out there. It's just hard for them to navigate for sure. So there will be some defensive changes going to the conference tournament. So the infield, and I've already talked to Boucher. Boucher's a great kid, man. He's an unbelievable human and really has put a lot of pressure on himself, and probably too much, to the point he's trying to be perfect. And when he's made an error, and it normally comes in bunches. So, on Tuesday night, you're going to see Colby Wallace at third, Dixon Williams at short, Braden Burse at second, and Austin Irby at first base. So, and you might see Boucher DH play first base, maybe even some left field. So he's played first base before, but we're going to work him out of those positions. And he is a great teammate and is all for just trying to help the team win.
Cliff Godwin with us here. Let's talk a little bit about the pitching in some detail. It seems like you got everything set up as best you can for this weekend. But Nick Moran came in. Zayak gave you a really good start on Saturday, the freshman, and then Moran came in and was outstanding. Those were two guys that it was good to see that from Moran. And I think you'd said Lance Williams, and there was one other in there you'd mentioned that were some guys you wanted to see with this final series. So just overall, the pitching performance, kind of guy by guy that appeared, and do you feel pretty good about that going into Tuesday and for the duration of the event?
Yeah, I mean, Lance Williams, Nick Moran, and Zayak all pitched great, and that is definitely a good sign heading into the conference tournament, because we're going to need those guys for sure. So, and even Sean Jenkins, I mean, look, the box score, and I called Chip or sent him a text right after the game. I was like, man, as bad as we played defense, there's no way Sean Jenkins gave up 5 earned runs in that outing. And I don't know. I'm not an official scorekeeper, and I didn't have time to go back through every little play and see if it was an earned run or not. But Sean Jenkins pitched good enough for us to be able to stay in the game, and we just played bad defense behind him. So, but Sean has continued to trend in the right direction, and so those 4 guys for sure are going to be needed as you have a long conference tournament week.
Yeah, absolutely. The double play on Thursday in a game where the Pirates played outstanding was a really good catalyst, I think, to the inning where you guys put it on the board, start off with a couple of hits, and then get the bat pass to Dixon with no outs, and then he hit just kind of nuked one onto the top of the ceiling of their batting cage facility there. He also hits a home run for you in the late stages of Saturday's game. So the bat for Dixon Williams, as far as the long fly goes, is seeming to come alive.
Yeah, Dixon has historically warmed up as the season has gotten going, and as temperatures warm up, some guys just have a knack when it's down the stretch to play well, and he's definitely swung the bat well. So excited to see that as we head into the conference tournament.
Cliff, Corey Bronze, who you saw on Friday, he's their starter, their number one guy lefty. I presume you'll see him tomorrow against you all. With playing a team you just played off of the conference tournament, I think that happened before with Rice in recent times, or it happened with somebody in recent times for the Pirates. I mean, anything to that, or is it just such a 0-0 start you can't worry about, something that even though you played them a few games ago?
I'm pretty sure it's happened back-to-back conference tournaments. I think 2 years ago
Okay.
it was South Florida. Igo could fact check me on that, and then last year was Rice. We did see Braun for a couple innings. They had him on a pitch count. He's one of the best pitchers in the conference. They have not seen Norby, which there's plenty of video out there, so they'll be able to do it. But look, man, you line up and you go play championship baseball. I mean, it's survive and advance, and that's what you got to go do. And we've got to figure out how to play consistent baseball. And Tuesday's a big game because if you win on Tuesday, you get Wednesday off. So for us, especially not being as deep as we've been in the past on the mound, that's definitely going to be something that we probably to be successful in this tournament, we need to win on Tuesday.
Coach Cliff Godwin with us on this Monday. And Coach, when you look at, I know you referenced after Saturday's game, the guys looked a little tired position player-wise. I guess that means no potential beach time. And you guys are on the road, staying in Florida throughout this duration of the series, going to the tournament. So how important is it to kind of manage and try to have those fresh legs? And y'all will have all of Tuesday to sit around and think about it, I guess. But just the standpoint of keeping those guys fresh when you're on the road for so long.
Well, I guess you've talked to somebody that, and then they told you that I told them no beach time or pool time. This team hasn't deserved to be on vacation at any point in time, and that's including myself. So, we need to be fresh. Yesterday, we worked out at a weight room there in Tampa. We had a nice team meal. We got here, I don't know, 3-ish, got checked in. The guys could go get something to eat. And then we had a meeting last night at 7:30. The guys have a pretty busy schedule today from the standpoint. They had breakfast this morning at 10 a.m. They got some breathing stuff, treatments going on. We'll meet here after lunch. Our practice time is at 4 o'clock today, which I think this is the latest practice time we've ever had since I've been the coach at East Carolina, which is fine because it just allows them not to have too much downtime to want to maybe go onto the beach. So we'll practice today at 4. We'll get back. We're actually going to watch a movie and have a team meal. And tomorrow, we haven't even mapped out the schedule yet, but we'll probably do some mobility in the hotel room at some point in time just to keep them off social media and just all the phone time that they normally this generation seems to spend, and just stay connected with one another. And we'll have a pregame meeting like we always do, pregame meal, and head over to the field probably way too early because they have the game scheduled, I think, for 7, and there's no way that we will play at 7 o'clock tomorrow night when you have 3 games in front of you.
Coach, you also referenced Evan Krasinski, obviously one of the better pitchers in your tenure at ECU, spoke to the team prior to the series. What did that mean to you and the guys?
Man, it's just awesome, the care that our former players have for this place. And I'll try not to get emotional, but it wasn't planned. It was off the cuff, and Cruz actually was taking his fiance to the airport, and he said, "Hey, Coach, you got some time?" I was like, "Well, I need about an hour to finish up some of these relief pitchers, watching video on stuff," and got down to the hitters meeting. He was in the hitters meeting, and him and I went back. We had about an hour and chatted for about 30 minutes, and I said, "Hey, you want to talk to the team?" He goes, "Coach, I'd love to." And so he spoke to the team just about what it meant for him to, be able to finish his career at East Carolina. Obviously turned down the draft after 16 and came back in 17 was not how any of us planned it. His leg got broken, and talked to the team about how they made a run, in the conference tournament. Then finished it off, but it's about momentum. It's about believing in one another. It's about doing it for the team, and nobody's going to remember what your individual stats are. They're going to remember what kind of team you're in. And he got choked up doing it, and it was very off the cuff. I don't know if I've seen Cruz get emotional many times in his life around me, and but it's really special to me because it's a young man who looks back on his tenure at East Carolina and is so proud of it, and just wants East Carolina baseball to have a ton of success.
Patrick referenced you guys will face USF for the fourth consecutive game. What really stood out, offensively about them? I know they stole some bases, on Kalinic, especially in the series finale. But what stood out about them, offensively and on the mound during those 3 games?
Well, you got to keep, those fast guys. You got to try to limit them over there as much as possible. Pruitt is an unbelievable base stealer. It's just tough if he gets to first base. I don't care who you are, who's catching. I mean, you really got to be quick to the plate. You got to have an accurate throw to second base. If not, he's going to be safe. And they do it. Their coaching staff does a really good job. I really have not known Mitch Hanna at all. I got to spend about 15 minutes talking to him on Thursday, and he's a really good coach. Their teams play hard. They're fundamentally sound. Their year has not been to what he wanted them to be either. And actually, their first baseman didn't play this weekend. I don't know if he's going to play tomorrow night or not, but who I think has 14 home runs, Greco. But, we, got a chat, and it's just a good guy who has been coaching baseball for a long time and done it the right way.
Cliff Godwin with Stephen Igo and myself here. A couple of players I wanted to bring up to you, Coach. We'll start with Jack Herring. You and I talked about him at times during the course of the final series, and of course has the home run, lays down a sacrifice for you at one point in the course of the series. Had a hit, I believe, in every game of the series, a couple extra base knocks. So Jack Herring coming along as the years progressed and seems to be peaking at a good time for the Pirates.
Yeah, Jack's continued to improve, man, in all areas of his game, and it is an adjustment coming from Division II to playing here, and our coaches have done a good job developing for sure. But he's competitive, man. He's not a very vocal guy, but he has a internal competitive drive. It's actually funny. Before he hit the home run, one of the strike calls were questionable, and he's like talking to himself like as the next pitch is coming on, and I'm like, hey man, you got to calm down. And then later in the bat he hits the home run, but super competitive, wants to win, and very excited about his growth for sure.
Let's talk a little further about Davin Whitaker. We talked about him obviously before the Thursday game. And there's someone, and you discussed it with Igo and me last week, that has worked and just continued to work, shows up every day. Nothing's been handed to him, and he's someone that has found himself, again, as someone that is seems to be coming along at the right time for the Pirates at this point in the season.
Yeah, he cares a lot. Probably cares too much at times and overthinks it. I grabbed him in the cage the other day. I was like, man, you play better when you come off the bench than when you start. And he's super honest, and he goes, Coach, sometimes I overthink things, and I'm doing a better job, but I think too much up there. And I'm like, hey man, you're a really good player, you're a really good hitter. Just go up there and look for a pitch in a certain area and get your swings off, man. And that's all we ask any of our guys. So happy to see him having some success for sure.
Coach, anything with the lineup, with what you told us about the infield, will it stack up any different? I know you moved Dixon up in the lineup for the third game. Will he be a little higher to maybe get him some more at-bats and some more opportunities potentially?
Not sure, Patrick. He actually likes to not hit too high up in the lineup, so trying to navigate all that stuff. But I threw him in the 2-hole just because he doesn't like that, and I was like, if I need to play there in the conference tournament. So he hit a home run, so maybe he likes hitting higher in the lineup now. We'll see.
You'll see. A lot to get to. Cliff, good luck in the tournament. Looking forward to the run, and best of luck tomorrow night against South Florida.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, Cliff Godwin with us earlier today. Appreciate that. One of our listeners on the comment when I was having my choking fit pill said I turned my head and coughed. It was like a physical exam.
Just picking up where you left off at the airport the other day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the only thing I didn't do. All right, let's do an update. We'll come back. Maybe throw an extra minute on the break. Do a little 3-segment deal today. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Here he is, Philip the Ref Pilkington, with the latest going on around Pirate Nation and beyond. I actually got a little bit of some developing information out of the House budget as far as ECU goes. So I'll go through that when we get back from what someone sent me just this afternoon. But right now, here's Philip Pilkington with an update. Pilk.
Thank you, P-Man. Starting in Pirate Athletics, the postseason conference accolades are out for baseball. Pirates did have one first-team member. Utility man Colby Wallace was announced to the first team. The second team saw Braden Burris, the outfielder slash infielder, but he was listed as an outfielder, and pitcher Ethan Norby. And two players made the all-freshman team, that being the aforementioned Braden Burris and first baseman Austin Irby. In softball news, Pirate outfielder Emma Jackson has entered the transfer portal for her final year of eligibility. She started her career at Virginia Tech before transferring to East Carolina. In her 2 years in the purple and gold, she had 33 doubles and 34 home runs while hitting .362. In NFL news, the Eagles have extended head coach Nick Sirianni. The details of this deal have not yet been announced. Sirianni was about to begin the fifth year of his, or the final year of his 5-year deal that he started when he first got to the team. Obviously, the Eagles won a Super Bowl this past season. The Browns have signed fifth-round pick Shedeur Sanders to a 4-year contract worth $4.6 million. Moving over to golf, Scotty Scheffler claims his first Wanamaker trophy, shooting 11 under par at Quail Hollow over the weekend. He shot a 71 in the final round, which was good enough for even par, but it got him that 5-stroke win over Harris English, Davis Riley, and Bryson DeChambeau. This is the 5th Tour win for Bryson since 2022. That's one more win that the Panthers have since 2022. And in NASCAR, Christopher Bell, in his 5th attempt at the All-Star race, brought home his first $1 million prize. As a late race restart, he was able to overtake Joey Logano at North Wilkesboro. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. We're going to take a time out here on the Patrick Johnson Show and get some new news as it relates to rev sharing and East Carolina on the other side.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors, with locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arr! Hey folks, Steve Logan here. Hot or cold, Wilson Roads Heating and Air Conditioning has been in the keeping you comfortable business since 1961 on Hooker Road in Greenville. Steve Rhodes, second generation, gives each customer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Wilson Roads is an independent trained comfort specialist dealer specializing in new installations, home replacements, and service agreements on all makes and models. Go online at wilsonroads.com and finance up to 60 months on qualifying equipment. Hot or cold, get the job done right. Wilson Roads, you'll be comfortable in no time.
Anson Belt & Buckle offers a micro-adjustable, holeless belt, giving you the perfect fit every time. As an ECU alumni-owned business since 2009, Anson Belt is proud to be the official belt of East Carolina Athletics. Looking for a new belt for yourself or a special pirate? Visit AnsonBelt.com to see why over 30,000 customers have given their Anson Belt a 5-star review. With dozens of materials to choose from and thousands of possible combinations, you'll find the belt for every occasion, especially game day. At AnsonBelt.com.
Beep, beep. Move over, Buttercup. We're back to the show.
They're back! And I love them!
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, so last week, was it last week, Pilk, we talked, yeah, it was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, we talked about things as it pertained to the House budget. So somebody sent me something today, an hour before the show. And House version of the budget will effectively give ECU $24 million over the next 2 years for athletic department support. UNC and state are proposed to get $26 million from what I see. So I'm going to assume if ECU is getting $24 million, that means Charlotte and App State are. So really the FBS public institutions, football playing institutions, are getting the money from the tax rev from sports gambling. Now, when we talked to Jason Sane on Friday, it was not put out exactly yet how this was going to be paid for by the House. So maybe this is part of this today, and that's why the number is maybe not what it was when we talked about this Thursday. Still, an infusion for an average of $12 million a year for the next 2 years in this House budget from sports gambling in the state is a big, big deal for East Carolina, especially when the conference TV deal is around $8 million, I think, annually. So that's a big thing right there, Pilk. Now, the Senate just wanted this money to go to North Carolina to pay for Belichick, but they realized, okay, we can't just do that. We have to include NC State. But thankfully, people in the House have gone to bat here for these institutions. Pilk, anything on that from your perspective? I thought if you didn't catch our show with Jason Sane, by the way, did we have LeBlanc on that day too? We did, didn't we?
Maybe.
Yeah,
all the days
Friday.
last week ran together. We had those long
Friday.
shows. A lot of people.
Right. So Sane and LeBlanc, two good guests on Friday. Go back and listen to the Jason Sane segment though, because that was because he's done it. He's written these budgets, so he really explained things very, very well, and also advocated why they don't need to or at least is advocating, and also presented the idea of why they don't need to go up on the money for the or the rate for where gambling revenues are taxed. So that's the latest. Again, there's still a long way to go with this. I mean, there's going to be a little cooling off period. Everybody's going to get together. They're going to come up. But if the House prevails in this, it looks like significantly more money could be coming the way of ECU athletics for the 2-year budget period, fiscal year 25, 26, 26, 27, via the revenues that have taken place because of sports gambling. So I think that's great.
Yeah, puts us at a huge advantage over other teams in the conference. Generally, and I don't remember exactly what all states have gambling, but this is a conference mostly of red states, and it was the blue states that have passed the gambling quicker than the red states, obviously. So Patrick turned your camera off there. Oh, there he is. He's back. And,
I had to spit out my gum.
But like you mentioned, Florida, yes. So the Seminole tribe runs theirs, but are they seeing as much revenue where they're going to be able to divvy it out to South Florida and to Florida?
No. There's
Absolutely
only one group that is seeing revenue
Yeah.
from sports gambling on the mobile app or in the casinos in Florida, and it's the Seminole tribe.
It's
It
the
is
tribe,
not.
exactly. And
Right.
that's the point.
It's
the
not
Bulls
all
and
this
the
other
Owls
stuff.
will
Yeah.
not be benefiting from that. So, look, at the end of the day, do we want to win national championship? Sure, but you got to be the best team in your conference, and this is another opportunity for East Carolina and for Charlotte to be the best two teams in the conference. As much as we hate Charlotte, I feel the same way about Charlotte that I do about Carolina. I'll never pull for them, but when it comes down to it, I would much rather have a 2-10 win East Carolina and Charlotte playing each other in football. Same way I'd rather 2 top 5 Duke Carolina teams be playing each other because it just makes for that much better. So hopefully this will help us prevail and be some of the better teams in the conference.
Well, I was secretly rooting for Charlotte this weekend on Saturday.
I don't hate them as much as I hate Carolina. I mean, I'll never.
So the Pirates would have gotten up to fifth.
Yeah.
No, I dislike them immensely because they're a conference rival, among other reasons. No offense to your sister, who graduated from there.
I mean, she didn't love it.
Well, then why you couldn't get her to become a Pirate?
No, so she said she didn't want to come to East Carolina because everybody was going to play the whole, oh, you just went there because your brother went there. It's like, okay, so what? But, when she got to high school, you know how it was. Oh, you're Philip's sister. You know how it is when you're the younger one. You experienced, I'm sure, Patrick. Well, you
No, because I'm the oldest one.
Oh, I thought you were the middle.
I'm the oldest one.
Oh,
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, so your younger siblings felt how it was, oh, you're Patrick's sibling, so that's how it kind of was with her. It was, oh, you're Philip's little
I don't know if
sister.
they got a lot of that, with my dad being at the school, that was probably more overshadowing than,
That's a good point.
My brother and sister are very unique individuals.
I think Patrick's a very
Let's
unique
see here.
individual.
Oh, I am a unique individual. So if you had to look at and we'll get into this tomorrow. By the way, Coach O's going to be with us tomorrow. The great Dr. Gary Overton. What's that?
And Brian LeBlanc. It's going to be a full show tomorrow, baby.
Okay, can you let me present?
Yeah.
Good God. We'll be live tomorrow. And Coach O will be with us at 5:15 live from Clearwater, Florida, with a preview of what's going on. And then LeBlanc will be with us. LeBlanc is traveling somewhere, like Germany or so. I don't know where he's going, actually. But we're going to have him on later in the week. Or we can't have him on later in the week, excuse me. So we're going to have him tomorrow. Now, if either Wednesday or Thursday, we're not going to have a show. One of those days, we're guaranteed this week. And it all depends on the result of tomorrow night's baseball game. When we win, we will not have a show on Thursday, correct?
Correct.
If by some chance we were to lose tomorrow in baseball, tomorrow night, we would not have a show on Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and book a guest Wednesday. That's what I'm doing.
I think we need to do it because let's be honest. That game, you can call it tomorrow night's game. Let's be honest. That's going to be a Wednesday morning game. Tomorrow night's game is going to end Wednesday morning. You won't be playing Wednesday afternoon.
Why do you all think it's going to be that late?
Because it is.
First of all, I don't think it's going to be a 9 o'clock start. I can't see that happening.
I think so. If every game before it takes 3 hours, it would be a 9 o'clock start.
Okay. They'll start before 9.
I hope so.
And I don't know if it'll last till whenever. Maybe not.
We need some run rules before us. That's what we need.
It could happen. Thanks to Cliff Godwin for being with us today. Thanks to Stephen Igo. Thanks to Pilk. I'll try to get some lozenges before tomorrow. Live with Coach O tomorrow from Clearwater and Brian LeBlanc from Parts Unknown to preview the opening game of the Eastern Conference Finals for NHL hockey with my Carolina Hurricanes. A guy who wrote a book on Joe Biden is going to be our guest on Talk of the Town tomorrow. It's one of those behind the scenes. Actually wrote it about the campaign, both the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign. So if you're so inclined tomorrow, that's Talk of the Town. We'll see you there in the morning and then back here live for a Patrick Johnson show at 5 o'clock ahead of Pirate Baseball. Have a great evening, everybody.